Hey, how's it going? Odell, Outdoors. We're going to talk about flint and steel fire starting here for a minute. A lot of people might get kind of intimidated by it. Maybe they haven't had somebody break down exactly what you got to do, so they have some missing pieces. Maybe you've tried it before and maybe it was the wrong technique for you. Maybe you had the wrong type of steel. Maybe you had the wrong type of stone, something like that. You know, there's all kinds of little details that go involved with it, and I wanted to kind of break that down, make it very easily understandable. So first of all, we'll get our tinder going. I'm going to get rid of this green piece. We don't need that. So for my center part of the tinder bundle, I like to use this grassy type material, real kind of small leaves in there. And then I will take this larger stuff, larger grass, and I kind of bust it up like that and make a little place to put this smaller grass in there. And this kind of stuff's really well too for the center. So I'll get this in here and I'll hold this as it's going, so it's not, I don't care about making a bird nest, all that stuff personally. I just put it in here and kind of hold it and go from there. Get this out of here. Now we'll talk about the stone. I'm going to call it a stone rather than calling it flint. And the reason is because there's multiple kinds of stones that will work for this type of technique. Everybody calls it flint and steel, so I'm going to call it the flint and steel technique. But you can use obsidian, you can use chert, quartz, or flint. And I got this piece of flint from my buddy Robert Bonham. Appreciate it, boss. The other component that you need is a steel of some kind, a striker. Now when I say of some kind, it has to be the right type of metal. Aluminum doesn't work, stainless steel doesn't work, copper, brass, that kind of stuff. Mild steel doesn't work. Has to be hardened, high carbon steel. So those two things, high carbon and hardened. Now you can use, if you have a high carbon steel knife, you can use the back of your knife as well. I've done that many times with this knife. So how does it work? Let's talk about that for a second. So the stone that you have has to have a sharp edge on it, and the stone actually becomes a knife. And the knife, when I say it acts like a knife, because it's gonna hit here and it's gonna peel a little microscopic chunk of that steel off, that hardened high carbon steel. And as it does that, it creates a lot of friction, and that friction is the spark that you see flying off of there. I'll show you this. I don't know if you'll see it out here in the daylight or not, but I'm getting quite a bit of sparks off of that thing already. Okay, so you're actually taking a microscopic little sliver of that steel off using this. So you have to have a nice sharp edge, and you want to kind of angle it so if it looked like a knife blade, hitting that and slicing a piece of that steel off. Now another thing, a component that you got to have for this is char cloth. And I'm not going to go into detail how you make the char cloth right now. That's another day. For this demonstration, I'm going to use a fairly large piece. This tinder material is, we've had a lot of rain lately, so it's kind of damp. So I may have to work at it a lot, but that's fine. Stay down there. That's fine, because you got to be patient with this. Don't think as soon as you get this lit, you got to hurry up and get it in there and then get that thing going up. You got time. Be patient, make sure this is lit good, get it in there, and then we'll talk about that in a minute. But I like to take this and kind of fold it at a little bit of an angle. So I have multiple surfaces there that are going to catch a spark from this flint and steel. The way I do it is lay it on there. Now, some people will tell you you got to make a whole bunch of little small strikes really fast. That's fine. If that's the way that you figure out how to do it and it works for you, that's awesome. For me personally, I like to do one solid strike so I can see where it's hitting, I can readjust, and I can go at it. If it works best for you to do a bunch of them really fast, that's fine. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna go at this. Like I said, you're gonna be using this like a knife and peeling a little bit of metal off of that. And it creates some sparks when it does it. I'm gonna find a better sharp edge here. And that's the thing, you may have to move around a couple times, find you a good sharp edge. Oop. And it should just be glancing off of that. And my char is not the best in the world. I should have left it going a little longer than I did. So it's not taking a spark as quickly as it should. That's fine, we'll get it. Oh, almost had it. And like I said, some people go like this, hit several times really fast. I like to focus on just making one solid spark. We got it. I was just getting ready to go grab some other char cloth, but if this was higher quality char cloth, it wouldn't have taken anywhere near that long. I'll throw this back in the fire and get it cooked off a little longer. I don't know if you can see that. Got that going. Now, fire likes to climb stuff, so I like to take this char cloth and when it's lit, put it in there upside down so that it has to climb that char cloth as it's warming up. And that's important to know when I say it's warming up, because this material is kind of damp, like I said, and so we have to warm that material up. We have to get rid of some of that moisture before it'll light. So you notice I'm not being real aggressive on this. I'm just kind of taking my time. Maybe I'm thinking about my next move, making sure I've got enough tinder, enough kindling and firewood ready to go. We can give it a little puff. You want to start off real slow breaths. And right now we're just trying to warm this stuff up. We're not in a big hurry. Maybe that's the reason I like this fire technique so much. Seems like in life we always have stuff we gotta hurry to this place, hurry to that place, get this done, get that done. With flint and steel fire, just sit back and relax and enjoy life. Getting a little bit of smoke. We'll just let it sit there and warm up, get some breath, then we'll hit it again. Now once I get this started, I'm going to have to end this video really quick because I'm going to use this tinder to light my fire right there, because I got some soup and some tea I'm getting ready to make. So now I could burst that into flame right now, but there's one other thing I want to talk about real quick, and that is the direction of smoke and the direction of the air you're putting into it. If you can see, I'm making kind of an S pattern. That's because I'm always pushing that air in the same direction into that tinder bundle, and the smoke's coming out the same direction. Now, right now we don't have a whole lot of wind, but you can see it's kind of drifting off that way. So when I do blow into it, I like to turn so I'm blowing in the same direction, but I also like to blow up because the smoke's going to rise to get out of there. So we're going to blow this to life here, and then like I said, I got to use this to start my fire. So thanks for watching, appreciate it. Feel free to share, hit the like button, all that good stuff. Thanks a lot. There you have it.